dress. Good morning, people. If I look a little teary, it's because I am. I've just dropped off my child at daycare and it's the worst thing in history ever. We both get like big time separation anxiety. But what do to cheer yourself up? You decide to sew something. I saw this really cool video on YouTube. I think it's called Jane M. I'll definitely link the video in the description because it's also how I drafted my pattern. But she makes a milkmaid dress. And yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'll succeed with this. It's the first time I tried drafting my own pattern for that. I think I could have done it if I would have had like a specific pattern and everything was drawn out for me. But this is my first time like trying to piece it together from a YouTube video. I think that, you know, this is not a tutorial on how to do it because then you can just use her video. But it's a sew along with me. And if I have any like discoveries or important FYIs, I will give them to you during the video. I've already cut the pieces and drafted the pattern, and the only thing that I have left to do is to decide what the skirt should look like. Maybe I should show you what I think it's gonna look like. Okay, so this is the dress that I want to make, like with some puff sleeves. This is why it's called a milkmaid dress. It has like ruffles along the cups, and then it's like a corset type bodice. And then, like I said, for the dress I still have to figure out if it should be like a long one, like a bit flowy, full circle, or if it should be a more of a like maybe quarter or half circle A-line style. I think currently I'm more on this one, shorter one, but I have actually cut the fabric for this model. So if I change my mind, we will just adjust that piece to fit this design. We have Dolly ready as well, so she will have to assist me when we get that far. All right, let's get to some materials. Like I said, I've already cut the patterns. I'll get to that in a minute and show you. But I'm also going to use some elastic. I'm going to make a zipper closing on the back side. I'm going to use one of these things. I have my pen. And yeah, I've cut these two long strips because I'm gonna sew them shut, and then I'm gonna use that one, and they are going to act as the drawstring that goes inside up here. And this is the bodice pieces. So this is the center back, the back side, the front side, and the center front. And then what is this long sausage type thing? It's actually the cup. In order to get it to like ruche, you have to like double the length of a normal cup. So this one is gonna go in this section right here, but we're gonna ruche it under, and then we're gonna put in the drawstring on top. Last thing I want to show you is the sleeve, which might be a good thing to see because in her video she actually forgets to show this step and apologizes for it in the video. So maybe this is the step that you want to watch if you should watch anything. I've just taken a normal sleeve pattern that I know fits me. I've actually taken the one from the silk blouse video, so if you haven't seen that one, you can watch that one. And then I've just sliced it in like 5. I want them short, so I've just cut the length. So I've sliced them in order to make room for the puff of the sleeve. All right, I am going to start by actually ironing some visline onto the different fabrics, all of these 4. I've cut them both lining fabric, I've cut visline, and the outer fabric. So, okay, world's longest intro. But hey, I'm not crying anymore. Seriously, that was the worst to leave him. Sorry about that, but yeah. A good project saves the day.
Talk to me nice, talk to me honestly. Look in my eyes, don't let it fall on me. Say you're a good guy, make me believe it. refreshing. Oh, you miss my touching. Good girl.
Hello! First update. I've ironed the Invisalign onto all of the bodice pieces. I have also sewn the drawstring. So I've made a little knot at the end that's gonna be visible. What I'm gonna do now is that I'm gonna pin the bodice together. So I am going to pin all of these right sides together. So I'll start with this. This is the middle front part, like that goes right here. So I'm gonna pin this one here, sew it, and then we're gonna pin this one and so forth. And while I do this for the front pieces, I'm also gonna do exactly the same thing for the lining. So once I am done with this, when I've sewn it all together, I'm just gonna quickly see if it fits on Dolly. And then I'm gonna go to ruching and sewing the cups. Okay, so this is what it looks like now. This is the lining fabric. I'm just gonna press these ones so they are nice and flat. And this is what it looks like on Dolly. Don't mind the boob gap here because Dolly and I don't have the same cup size. But okay. I've just put it together with some clips on the back side, and just looking at like the seam allowance I'll have for the zipper, I think it's absolutely perfect. I'm just gonna iron them flat now. Now they are nicely pressed, and we are gonna move on to the cups. Here I'm gonna ruche it here, and then I'm gonna make like what do you say, like a tunnel here for the strings. I'm gonna attach the lining at the top, and then after that I really want to figure out how I am going to get these three pieces assembled. The sleeves and the cups can be sandwiched somehow before we close the lining and make it pretty. But what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna quickly stitch right sides facing. I'm gonna stitch this seam right here on both of them, and then I'm gonna flip it over so that the wrong sides are facing. And then I'm gonna sew the little I'm gonna top stitch, and I'm gonna sew the little tunnel for the drawstring, and then I'm gonna actually attach the drawstring, like I'm gonna sew it together out there.
What's so nice? I can't help hide the sweet talk. I'm already on my way. I'm pulling up, don't be late. I'm cutting through all the lanes. Sweet talk. You need to say less to me. No need for no flowers, babe. I'm already on my way. On my way. We've been dancing all night long. Right here with you way too long. Don't want nothing here or now, but I'm done waiting.
Hi guys, okay, the status is you just saw some delicious b-roll of my lunch. I am taking a little break of like 30 minutes because I want to watch the video over again, the one that I have linked in the description, like how to make the dress. I don't think she touches on it, but if she does, I want to see how she solves it so that it looks like clean and nice with the drawstring coming out of the cups right in the middle. I think I've figured out how to do it, but I've already sewn the cups, so I'm gonna have to like undo them a little. Should I show you? Yeah, I'll show you real quick. All right, this. So right now, like, it will look great over here because that's gonna get like sewn together with another piece, but obviously I forgot about this side. So I think what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna undo the stitch like until here. Okay, this is the plan. This looks horrible, so I am not going to use these cups. I don't have any more fabric of the top fabric. So that brings me straight into the decision making about the skirt, because if I decide to chop a little on the skirt, then there will be fabric for some new cups. Okay, I need to cut a little bit more from the waist so that there's room for my waist. But I'm really happy with the decision that I made to make the short a little, or the skirt a little less fuller. Normally I'm all about like a big twirling circle skirt, but I do think that it fits the model, that it's a bit more straight. So it is now a three-quarter skirt. But I just decided to like hem the bottom half of all of the cups pieces, and now I'm basically gonna start over and do what I did with the other cups, and hopefully by this time the opening for the strings that are gonna show like outwards is gonna look really nice. Okay, so this is where we are. Now all I have to do is ruffle stitch here along both of them so we can ruffle them together, and then we're just gonna form the shape to see that they then fit the rest of the bodice. And when we're done with that, moving on to the sleeve. So
boys don't cry under the influence. You and I did not make a sense. Tell me why you're putting on a fence. Boys don't cry. Boys don't cry.
okay, I've cut some elastics, like just measured it around my arm with like an extra maybe 2 centimeters to have some space. And then I'm gonna fold up the edge and then sew around them, so this will be like floofed. And then I have also cut those over there. I measured like over my shoulders. I will put them in on the sleeves up there. Let's put these in first, and I'll show you on my shoulder.
We were more than friends.
Okay, so I've done the puffing on the sleeve. I was actually hoping that it would be a bit more, but yeah. So now that the bottom have been gathered, what I should have done is just made the sleeve wider. That would have given it more poof at the bottom. What I will show you now is that without being too tight, it will be like fixed on my arm, so it won't like fall down. I figured I'm actually gonna sew this one and then show you once it's done. I don't really feel like you're gonna get much out of it just watching the machine. I think it's better if I sew it and then show it. So yeah, see you in like 2 seconds. Okay, I just want to say that I'm not 100% happy with the sleeves. I don't really like the fact that there are now 2 lines over the shoulder, but that's how it turned out. I've also already placed the other sleeve I've sandwiched it between the outer and the lining, and I'm gonna do the same with this one. And the way I did it, I've already pinned this one, so I'll get to that in a second. But this is the lining fabric and this is the outer fabric, and where we are on the body right now is right here, right? So it's on the side. So what I'm gonna do now with the sleeve that I also did on the other side is that I just I lined up the inner seam on the sleeve with the side seam on the bodice, and then I pinned it all the way to the corner there, and then I pinned it approximately the same distance the other way, and then I sandwiched the lining over this, so it's like on the inside. I will pin this, and then I'm gonna sew all the way from here and then all the way over here. I've just sandwiched them. Like, this is the outer fabric, this is the lining, right sides together, and then in between I've pinned my cups. Hopefully when we are done sewing I can then press the lining and top stitch it all the way, and it should look nice and crisp. So sometimes you're like do a project and then you have like extreme high and lows. I think that's where I'm at with this project. Like at one point I was like, okay, I'm just gonna scratch this whole thing. It's not even gonna turn out to be a dress. It looks way too messy. I'm quite perfectionist when it comes to making stuff, so I want things to look like clean and nice and neat. The top is ready, so here you go. I'm actually really happy with that. I've stitched everything the way I told you before doing it, and then I've also top stitched. I decided to go like all the way around, and that looks really nice. Johannes, can Mama just finish this, please? Thank you. In the back it just looks like this for now. Like the skirt is gonna be a flared one, like I said earlier, a 3/4, but I think that the lining for the blue fabric is just gonna be like straight down to like half the skirt. You know the word no, I know you do, but you are currently in a phase where you are ignoring the word no. Good night. Oh shit. Let's hope Papa don't see that. Bye. Good morning, people. Apart from an exceptionally fabulous skirt that is a little bit too small, we're looking at the lining fabric again. I figured I would just find one that I have that I know I almost fit. And then I'm gonna trace the shape of this one to make the pattern for the skirt for the lining. So what we're gonna do is that I'm basically gonna cut as far away from the skirt as I can, but still keep the shape so that I know I get like a larger size. What we're gonna do after is actually sew the lining part to the lining on the inside here, and then sew the outer part to this one. And what we'll end up with is basically the dress almost being done, but we're gonna fix the zipper in the back and then fix the hem. Will they undermine? Dry your eyes. Everything's just fine. I'm gonna sew these two lines, and then we'll get to assembling the lining and the outer fabric to the bodice. Is it just for show where you've been? I don't wanna know. You say hi when you're leaning low. Boys don't cry, boys don't cry. Okay guys, we are nearing the end. I've added now the skirt, both for the lining and the outer fabric. What I am going to do now is that I am going to trim the lining fabric because it's about 5 centimeters longer than the skirt. And once I've done that, I will move on to the zipper. I've found a zipper that I think is gonna work. It's not an invisible zipper. But it is a quite delicate one, and when I look at the back side, it is really the perfect length, I think. So that's what we're gonna do. It's a MILKMAID dress! Okay guys, here it is. I'm actually quite happy with it. I still have a little bit of a problem with the sleeves, but I think I might yeah, make them a little smaller or ruche them or something, but the overall fit is really good. And this is like the ratio lining to fabric. I think I'm most happy with like the detail and the top stitching of the corset. Actually, to be honest, the corset could have been like even tighter than it is now, but I think that it's, yeah, like when you wear a dress you want to be comfortable as well, so if it's a little loose, that's okay. I don't have any boobs left though after having that one. I actually had a little fabric left, so I also made a scrunchie and I'm gonna show you that one as well. Okay, it's done! Do you like it?
Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's really good.
I also made the scrunchie, you can see it here. It's the same color as the dress, and I changed the sleeves. They're still a little bit loose. Don't touch the cameraman. They're still a little bit loose, but now it looks much better than it did before. So if I just pull the dress down and let all day like stay on my shoulder. But yeah, this is it. Don't ask me what's going on here. I think it's like a post-pregnancy symptom of some sort. Thank you so much for watching. It was so fun to make this dress. I think it's the most advanced thing that I've made. And if it was a year ago, I would not have dared to jump on this project. But yeah, it was really fun. So I'm happy I redid the cups. And the way the sleeves are like put on, they were also sandwiched. So just like you would sandwich the cups, they were sandwiched between the lining and the outer fabric, and that worked really well. This fabric was like really lightweight, very good to work with though, but really lightweight and very sheer. But just fusing it and putting on lining worked, yeah, more than enough. So thank you so much for watching, and please subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next video.